Hey, action takers, have you ever wondered how to become a confident speaker? Would you like to be able to sell your offer from stage while feeling proud, comfortable, and confident without any of those stage nerves? Enjoying the spotlight, talking about all the things that you're most passionate about? How would that affect your sales figures and your scaling efforts? Today, we'll be diving into a topic that's crucial for any business owner looking to scale, mastering the art of public speaking. So grab your headphones, tune in, because today we're giving you the ultimate tools for conquering your stage nerves so that you can unlock your full potential when speaking on stage and deliver your message with impact. I'm awesome Angie Engstrom, honoring the awesomeness in you.
And I'm Gitte Odgaard. Just trying to picture this. You have an amazing offer and people are packed around the room, eager to buy, but there's just one key ingredient missing. You are so super nervous about speaking, so you end up speaking too fast and forgetting the most important points. The truth is, I don't even have to imagine this. I can actually remember being that person. Now, have you ever done something that was completely out of your comfort zone? It could be like doing an online interview or perhaps a Facebook Live, or it could be perhaps even doing your first virtual event. Do you remember what it felt like the first couple of times you did that? Perhaps you were feeling a bit nervous, you were worried about remembering to say all the important stuff, and perhaps feeling a little bit insecure and uncomfortable. Now, don't feel embarrassed about this, not at all, because my first virtual event, it was sort of like this. I was super nervous about doing my first virtual event because to me that was just it was totally out of my comfort zone. So I ended up barely mentioning that I actually had something to sell. Yeah, right. Can you imagine that? And I felt like, all the reactions in my body, like your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty, you're feeling lots of butterflies in your stomach, and your mouth feels awfully dry, and it feels sort of like taking an exam. You remember that from school. Have you ever felt any of this before you had to speak? You know, that is what I was feeling when I had to speak in my first virtual event. Have you ever felt like that before you had to speak publicly?
Yeah, I think most people probably have, at least at some point, maybe early on in their career. And for some people, it's an ongoing thing. So you're definitely not alone. And typically, people are especially worried if they have to speak for longer periods of time, like our clients do when we help them create virtual events. So we have a lot of experience helping people conquer these stage nerves. Because the good news is that it's easily a hurdle that you can overcome, and being comfortable at speaking publicly is not just a nice to have skill, it's an absolute game changer if you're a business owner. And it can literally make or break your journey to scaling your business. Now, think about Jesus. All he did was walk around and talk to people. He was talking individually and he was talking in large groups. His entire movement hinged on the power of the spoken word. And his impact is still transforming people's lives to this very day. And the point is that Jesus didn't wait until he was ready to speak. He spoke when he felt called. And we recommend that you don't wait. Don't wait until you're ready. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to get out there and practice. Embrace that imperfection.
Exactly. It's sort of like learning to ride a bike. Like, do you remember when you first learned to ride a bike? How you would wobble on the bike and you would even fall sometimes. And I remember keep asking my mom and my dad, are they still holding on to the bike? Because you were afraid of falling if they let go. It sure wasn't pretty the first couple of times, right? But you still kept getting on that bike. You still kept trying. You kept practicing, and that helped you to get better. And it's exactly the same thing with speaking publicly. You just have to embrace that imperfection and keep practicing. Because speaking publicly is such an important skill to have if you want to scale your business.
Yeah, and just for the record, I mean, anyone that speaks publicly, I mean, it's an ongoing game. Like there's like no end to it. There's always things to learn and ways to get better. And it's just so true to just keep practicing. And if you don't get out there and do something, you'll never know how to improve. So just go do it.
Hmm.
Being comfortable at speaking can definitely contribute a lot to your business scaling efforts. And one of the reasons is that it gives you the opportunity to amplify your message and your impact because it allows you to inspire, educate, and even motivate others to take action. Have you ever been to an event that impacted you on it like a really deep level? And at the end of that day or weekend or at the end of that event, you came out of that event a completely different person. And this is the power that you, as a speaker, can eventually create for your audience as when you embrace your own imperfection and practice. Just get out there practicing your speaking abilities.
Yes, exactly. Covering those speaking nerves, it's definitely important if you want your business to impact more people. You just have to get out there. And remember, it might not be perfect the first couple of times, and you can always improve, but just like learning to ride a bike, you need to start learning to embrace imperfection. So we want you to stay tuned as we're about to share our elite ninja tips for conquering those speaking nerves so you can deliver your message with impact and unlock your full potential on stage. Sounds good, right?
All right. So, first tip that's very fundamental before you get on any stage, whether it's virtual or in person. First of all, you need to know your audience, truly understand your audience, the audience that you're about to speak to. You need to understand their needs, their interests, what keeps them up at night, because in that way you can tailor your message to truly resonate with them, creating that connection that feels more natural and authentic. And grasping your audience's interest right from the start is crucial for making an impact on stage, which in turn will make speaking much easier for you. Because when you feel that connection with your audience, your nerves will slowly start to dissipate, and you'll realize you're just having a conversation. You're just the one on stage. So our first advice is to start researching your audience and really get to know them. Just who are these people you're speaking to?
Yes. And our next tip is actually it's one of my favorite tips, is visualizing success. So I would encourage you to just close your eyes and imagine yourself confidently taking the stage, whether it could be a virtual stage or an in-person stage. And you just picture yourself delivering your message with passion and conviction. Just imagine you were on a stage, the room is hushed, and all eyes are on you. But you're not feeling nervous. You are feeling confident. Feels good, right? Now keep your eyes closed as you see yourself delivering your message. Picture the applause, the engagement you're getting, the impact of your words, and the audience just hanging on to your every word. Just try to visualize it as vividly as you can and with as many details as possible, because that will make it seem a lot more real. And when it feels more real, it's more attainable. Visualizing is actually a great technique to use to calm your jitters because it primes your mind for success while at the same time easing your nerves.
So true. You're keeping your eye on the end result, which is a successful, impactful talk that you're doing with these people, rather than focusing on your nerves. What you focus on
Hmm.
grows.
Yes.
And so we can expand on this visualization topic in many ways, but for now, to take it a step further, envision how being a confident speaker will affect your entire business. Like this, we're just taking this in a whole nother step. Your dreams of scaling your business, basically your entire life, for you and your family. once you have this success as a successful speaker and doing these events, can you see it? Your employee base is growing. Your team is grateful to be a part of your movement. Your family loves that you're more flexible to take on those afternoon bike rides on a warm spring day. And your client testimonials are rolling in about how their lives have transformed, just because they attended your transformational event. And some are taking you up on your offer, and, just having all of that in mind with your visualization, like that's, again, we can expand on this in so many ways, but just taking your eyes off yourself and focus on that end result of what you're creating here. Just go ahead and picture your business scaling, just like you're conquering the stage. Apply that same vivid imagery and envision your business thriving and reaching new heights. And remember, it includes mindset and getting back up on that metaphorical bike and embracing imperfection.
Exactly. And we all need to embrace imperfection, because that will bring us into motion. That will bring us into taking that action. Okay, so let's recap. The first two tips are knowing your audience by researching in advance, and number two is visualizing success. Our next tip is related to the power of breathing. So prior to and even during your speech, we strongly encourage you to take deep, deliberate breaths. Just breathe in slowly and then exhale even more slowly. The point is that this technique, it will suit your mind, it will sharpen your focus, and it will minimize any anxiety you might be feeling.
Yeah, you're breathing to calm that body. It's not about the oxygen, it's about how breathing can help you center yourself and feel your calm, even when you're nervous, like feeling that in your body, like your physical body, your being. Because by taking slow, deliberate breaths, you're actually activating the body's parasympathetic nervous system. And when you're nervous or anxious, our body's sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, is activated. And this, unfortunately, triggers the release of the stress hormones. So by taking those slow, deliberate breaths, and like Gitte said, even the longer out breaths, you're triggering the body's relaxation response, thereby counteracting the physiological effects of the nervousness. In essence, it promotes a sense of calmness in the body and helps us regain control over our thoughts and emotions, ultimately creating the optimal conditions for speaking confidently on stage.
The power of breathing. Okay, let's sum up our ninja tips for conquering those stage nerves. First of all, know your audience by researching them in advance. Visualize success. Practice taking those slow, deliberate breaths. And our next tip is practice. Because practice makes progress. So rehearse what you're going to say multiple times in advance. You could do this in a couple of ways. You could stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. You could record yourself and listen to it with or without video. Or perhaps you could practice with a friend or family member. The point is that by immersing yourself in your content, you will create a strong sense of familiarity with your content. And that will help you diminish your nervousness while at the same time fuel your confidence because you know what you're about to say.
And treat each rehearsal as an opportunity to refine your delivery, fine tuning your message, giving you a confident and strong stage presence. And notice as you're fine tuning your delivery, how your nervousness transforms into excitement about sharing your message with the world. And any remaining nerves that you feel can be eliminated by this next simple step, taking your eyes off yourself and focus on the audience's transformation. It's all about them. It's not about you. And when we're focusing on our nerves, that's us. We need to get that focus off of us and onto the audience. Speak from that place of authenticity, stay grounded and focused on their transformation. And please remember, practice is not about perfection, it's about progress and getting better every time you practice. Just like learning to ride that bike, that metaphorical bike, you need to embrace imperfection.
Exactly. And if you stumble and you make some mistakes, just laugh it off because audiences, they appreciate that you are authentic. So it doesn't matter. And remember, every speaker, even the great ones, started out experiencing setbacks. What matters is how you recover. So, as we like to say here, momentum makers, keep your momentum and keep moving forward. Okay, let's do a short recap on how to conquer those stage nerves. Our 5 tips. Know your audience by researching your audience in advance. Visualize a successful experience. Practice taking those slow, deliberate breaths. Practice what you're going to say and focus on your audience. Stop focusing on yourself and put all your focus on your audience.
Yes, that's going to help you keep your momentum and keep moving forward and embracing that imperfection. And again, please remember, practice isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Getting better every time you practice, just like learning to ride that metaphorical bike, embrace that imperfection. So, thank you so much for listening to Momentum Makers Podcast. Keep your momentum, keep moving forward. And if you happen to be a course creator, a business owner, or an influencer spending too much time selling one on one, and you're ready to condense time and start selling one to many, then open up a tab on your browser and go to elitevirtualstages.com/blueprint and learn how you can turn your expertise into a 6 or even 7-figure day using live transformational virtual masterclasses.